So when Jesus wanted to like quote somebody from the Old Testament, he would usually quote Isaiah. So that guy was really famous mainly because the Bible tells us that he had a special relationship with God. And because he had that special relationship, God would speak to him in a special way. And today we're going to talk about what Isaiah tells us about God and who he is. And the title for the whole weekend is One. And we're going to be like listing different ones in our lives. And today's one is God. God is one in our lives. So Isaiah 40, just so you have a little bit of a background, in Isaiah 40 what's happening is Israel is being prophesied that they will get enslaved, that a people like another country is going to come and is going to put them into slavery, and that they're going to be in slavery for many years and they're going to be in suffering. So they just received this prophecy and they're all freaking out. They're all like, are you serious? I thought God was with us, and like now you tell us that we're gonna go into slavery, and what's going on? Like, is God truly like with us, or is he not? What's going on? And they're freaking out. And Isaiah writes chapter 40, and he divides it basically in three sections. The first section is to tell them that there is comfort, because even though they're going into slavery, God promised beforehand that he will take care of them and he will deliver them of slavery. So he comforts them in the beginning of the chapter. And then the second thing he does is he tells them to believe in God because he is all powerful and almighty. And he actually, in chapter 40, starting like in verse 12 all the way to like verse like 26, he basically lists all the reasons why God is powerful. And if you ever want to read, or you're doubtful, like maybe like how powerful is God, read those verses because they're pretty amazing. Like one of the things that he says right off the bat is like God is sitting over the circle. He uses the word sphere in Greek, and sphere in Greek is sphera, which almost the same word, but it literally means a sphere. He says that God is sitting over the sphere of the earth, washing over it. And what is amazing about this verse is that Isaiah wrote this in the year like around 640 before Christ, when there was no science to prove that the earth was round. And as a matter of fact, years after that, many civilizations and science in general was still debating if the earth was round. Yet Isaiah, right off the bat, he says God is sitting over the circle, the sphere of the earth. So who told Isaiah that the earth was round? In that time there was no telescopes. So who told Isaiah that the earth was round and that God was sitting over it? So that's the relationship Isaiah had with God. He was so close with God that God would tell him secrets about science. And the book of Isaiah is actually full of secrets of science that, like, if you read them, like, you will be mind blown. Like, there's a verse in Isaiah that says that the life of every being is in their blood. And if you take out their blood, their life is gone. And I don't know if you knew this, but just until like less than 100 years ago, science used to take the blood out of people when they were sick. Like basically they would injure people, like make cuts on them and let them bleed out, because they thought that by bleeding out they would get better. Yet Isaiah, like literally thousands of years ago, wrote about how if you take out the blood of a living being, you're taking out his life, because the life of a being is in their blood. Later on, science discovered that that was actually true, and Isaiah was right. So it's pretty amazing, because he writes a lot of scientific facts that were not discovered until recent science. And in this chapter, he just starts listing all the reasons why he believes and he knows that God is mighty and powerful. But then later on, right before he ends that chapter, in verses 27 through 31, he goes deeper and he touches into a personal level with Israel. And he tells them, listen, I already told you God is going to be with you and he's going to comfort you. I already told you that God is mighty and powerful. But now I want to tell you that God is with you. God is for you. And what he does is, the first thing he does is like, oh, I'm going to read it for you. It says, why do you say, O Israel, or speak, O Jacob, and say, my way is hidden from the Lord, and my just claim is passed over by my God? Have you not known? Have you not heard? The everlasting God, the Lord, the creator of the ends of the earth, neither faints nor is weary. His understanding is unsearchable. He gives power to the weak, and those who have no might, he increases their strength. Even the youth shall faint, and the weary and the young men shall utterly fall. But those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run, but not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. And that's how he ends that chapter. So the first thing he tells them is like, why are you being afraid? Why do you doubt? That's the first thing he says. Why do you doubt that God is not with you? Why do you doubt that God doesn't exist? Have you not seen the miracles that God has done around you? Like, this is the same people of Israel that like a couple hundred years before were delivered from Egypt, and they saw the miracles of like the plagues, and they saw the miracle of the sea parting in two, and they saw the miracle of the column of fire, and they saw all these miracles. And these same people are the people that went into the desert and they saw bread coming from heaven. Like, imagine, like, we're in the beach, like on Sunday we're gonna have a beach day and we're basically just gonna spend the day in the beach and have fun. Imagine like we're in the beach, like, and we're starting to feel hungry, and we're like, God, and out of nowhere like bread starts falling down. Like, come on, these people saw that happen. These people literally, physically saw the miracles of God happen. And Isaiah is telling them, like, why do you doubt that God exists? Why do you doubt that God is with you when you have seen all these things? Don't you know that God is the creator of all? God is the one who works out miracles for your good. Don't you know that God is aware of your situation? And he literally tells them, God is aware of your situation. So the first thing that I want you to take away tonight is God is aware. God is aware of your questions. You might be like on the fence about church, or you don't really know like how you feel about God, or like you might be like full of doubts because of problems that you're having in your house or in your school. But whatever it is that you're going through, whatever your situation is, the first thing that Isaiah is telling us is God is aware. He knows what we're going through. He knows you in a deeper level than anyone else. And he's there. He's paying attention to you. He's the creator of the earth. He's almighty, all powerful, but he's paying attention to you. Then the second thing he says is God neither faints nor is weary, and his understanding is unsearchable. So he's telling them, you might be tired, you might be like, oh, I cannot deal with this problem anymore, or so much homework, I don't even know how I'm gonna do it next semester. Like, you might like be thinking of a million things, of reasons why you get tired or why you're upset or whatever it is, but God never gets tired. He never goes weary. And on top of it, his wisdom and his understanding surpasses everything because he is the creator of everything. So not only God is aware of our problems, God is also able, because he doesn't grow tired, he doesn't grow weary, and his understanding is infinite. So he's able to do anything and understand anything, because where we fail and where we like get tired and stop, he continues, eternal. And the third thing, and this is the last one, that he tells them is, but those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up in wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. The third thing that he's telling them is, listen, God is aware of your problems. And not only he's aware, but he's all powerful and he never gets tired like you. But not only that, he's available. Not only he's aware, not only he's able, but he's available. Because one thing is being able, like to be like my parents, like sometimes like I know that if I have a problem, I can call my parents and they'll help me out, right? But sometimes I know that I cannot call them because they're not available. They're working and they're not going to be able to help me or something, you know? Even if they want to. But the third thing that I say in this verse is, not only God is aware, not only God is able, God is available. And all you have to do is have faith. Those who have faith in the Lord will grow wings like eagles. And we'll be able to run and not get tired, not be weary. In the middle of our troubles, in the middle of our doubts, not turn around and say like, oh, I cannot do this anymore. Because God himself will be carrying you out. So, what I want you to take out from tonight is that as we keep studying a couple Bible verses throughout this weekend, I want you to keep this in your heart, that God is aware of your situation, where you're at right now. Maybe you're at this moment like thinking like, yeah, I don't have a really good spiritual life, like I'm not close with God. God is aware. And God is able to change that situation. And tonight, he wants to start out this weekend, this retreat, by telling you, I'm able, but I'm also available to make a miracle in your life this weekend and to make your relationship with me grow this weekend in a special way. So let's all pray together, and then we'll have a couple instructions for tomorrow. Dear Heavenly Father, we want to thank you for your amazing love